-1% is what Spain is saying now. No great surprises. Most are expecting -1.5.
Exactly. I think in some ways it's probably a little bit optimistic from Spain's point of view, but ultimately it does set the scene and possibly a precedent for the other Eurozone countries that maybe a concentration on growth needs to be put forward rather than these deficit measures. We're already seeing the fallout of this in relation to the unemployment numbers in Spain, which are at record highs. We've got 27% expected for the year, and of course youth unemployment is an awful lot higher than that. And then of course the overall Eurozone unemployment number is expected to come in at another record high of 12% today. So I think a focus on growth is what is probably necessary for the whole Eurozone, not just Spain.
Manufacturing PMIs out at 9. How, I say grim reading. Is it going to make grim reading for you as well, do you think?
Well, the whole Eurozone manufacturing has been in contraction territory for 19 months running. So I think in some respects we can't expect to get an awful lot more out of Spain either. Even Ireland, which has been bucking the trend for the last number of months, it came in contraction territory today below that 50 mark. So I think it'll probably come in lower than expected, probably in around the 45 mark for Spain.
Quick word on Cyprus. They're going to get this extra year to reach a primary budget surplus 4%. Is that going to make any difference?
I think the uncertainty that lies there in relation to depositors and, of course, this capital controls that we have in place for Cypriot banks remains a bit of a problem for investors and, of course, the entire economy of Cyprus at the moment. It is supposed to last for just 7 days and be lifted later this week. But if they extend that, I think that might actually make things an awful lot worse. And, of course, that contagion factor that we have seen from the very beginning of the Eurozone crisis could follow its way to the likes of Spain and, of course, make and hamper any kind of moves that they've made in the right direction in respect of deposits and, of course, capital Tier 1 ratios.
And just to finish up with, as an investor, how do you play all of the above? Clearly, volumes were low yesterday. Europe was out. What's it going to look like this week?
I think it's going to be a little bit more cautious. You've obviously got non-farm payrolls this week. We also have the ECB meeting. And I think what will need to be watched very closely, given that the euro has bounced a little bit off that 4-month low against the US dollar, is to see exactly what Draghi will say. There are plenty of people who would say that maybe a rate cut might actually take effect. But I would discount this. I would discount the actual benefits that this would actually bring. But ultimately, it's what Draghi can do to try and counteract what Dijsselbloem has been saying over the last number of weeks. And I think he's got a very tall order there, considering that he was hoping to do everything it took to save the euro back in September. Now we need to see some action rather than some words.